Hello, and welcome to the first year of WWE's ECW, the show where we take a look back at the first 52 episodes of WWE's re-envisioning of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Episode 37 kicks off with a recap from the previous episode of Monday Night Raw, where it was announced that Vince McMahon will be represented by Umaga in the Battle of the Billionaires match at WrestleMania 23. Donald Trump countered this by announcing that he will be represented by ECW World Champion Bobby Lashley. All hell then breaks loose as Umaga and Lashley start to scrap with each other as security try desperately to separate them both. On tonight's edition of ECW, champion Bobby Lashley will be defending his title against Hardcore Holly. Again. What a surprise. This time though, it will be inside a steel cage. We're kicking off the night with a Money in the Bank qualifying match as the returning Mr. Kennedy takes on ECW original Sabu. Also, this qualifier is to be contested under Extreme Rules. This was a great opening match between Sabu and Kennedy to kick off episode 37. I just wish it would have gone on a tad longer. They could have had a few more hardcore spots in the bout considering they made this an Extreme Rules match. Even though we had a lack of weapons used, there was some cool high-flying moves from the death-defying Sabu, as always. In the end, the only real use of weapons is when Sabu goes to put Kennedy through a table, but Kennedy gets out of the way and hits the ECW original with a DDT on a broken table to win the match and earn his spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23. Outside in the parking lot, a limo pulls up and a pissed off Vince McMahon steps out of it and tells the driver that next time to get him here a little faster. Back to the ring for more action. The battle between the ECW originals and the New Breed continues as Balls Mahoney takes on our school teacher Matt Striker. Things are going well for Mahoney with the crowd firmly behind him, but after hitting a massive leg drop on Striker from the top rope, he is then attacked by ECW's monster Snitsky. Snitsky is making no alliances on the ECW brand though, as he then attacks the New Breed's Matt Striker with a big boot. We go to Vince backstage, who says, "Welcome to a night of ECW action. Tonight's main event will see Bobby Lashley defending his title against Hardcore Holly in a steel cage match. Last night, Donald Trump surprised me, I'll admit that. He named Bobby Lashley his superstar representative at WrestleMania. Well, tonight, I'm going to surprise you, Donald Trump. Tonight, if Lashley doesn't defeat Bob Holly in 5 minutes or less, then Hardcore Holly becomes the ECW World Champion. Surprise, surprise." Next, we've got another New Breed vs Originals match as Kevin Thorne and Marcus Corvon team up to take on Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer. This was a solid tag team bout between these two factions. Another decent installment in the New Breed vs Originals storyline. After Dreamer takes out Corvon on the outside, RVD hits a windmill kick to put Thorne in position for a 5-star frog splash. As RVD goes up to the top rope, Ariel tries to interject, but Sandman whips her ass with the Singapore cane. This distraction gives Burke a chance to send RVD crashing down on his bollocks. Thorne then hits a dark kiss to win the match and pick up a win for the New Breed. Backstage, Rebecca goes to ask Hardcore Holly a question before Holly cuts her off abruptly and says, "Rebecca, tonight is my night. Do you know why I'm smiling? Because there is nobody on this planet that can beat Hardcore Holly in 5 minutes. Not even Bobby Lashley. Tonight, I will be ECW World Heavyweight Champion." More action next as Straight Edge Phil, who qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match last week, takes on Stevie Richards. This match is all Stevie Richards to begin with, as he batters Punk around the ring and slowly wears him down. As you might have expected though, this beating on Punk doesn't last that long. The turning point is when Punk pushes Richards from the middle rope after taunting a bit too long. Phil then proceeds to build up some momentum and eventually hit the GTS to pick up the win. Hot Toddy trio Brooke, Layla and Kelly, aka Extreme Expose, are back for the 6th week in a row. My god. It's the usual mediocre dancing that nobody gives a shit about, except this week the girls spank each other's asses with riding crops at one point. And yes, Kelly does the backflip again. Twice in fact. I know it's only 3 to 4 minutes of this, but none of the crowds have seemed interested in the segment since its inception, so I don't know why they keep on doing it. Oh yeah, maybe because Vince fucking loved it. That makes sense. It's main event time, folks. Hardcore Holly takes on ECW champ Bobby Lashley, who has to defeat Holly in under 5 minutes or automatically lose the title to Holly. As soon as the bell rings, Bobby is on Holly like a rash and beats the shit out of him, even busting Holly open after sending him into the cage several times. Around the 3-minute mark, Umaga's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring and proceeds to smash up the gaff and chuck a chair into the ring. Holly uses the chair on the champ, goes for the cover but only gets a 2. The champ then hits Holly with a belly-to-belly suplex and proceeds to go to town on Holly with the chair. Bobby then hits a running power slam to retain the title with around 30 seconds to spare. Our champion then stares down Umaga on the outside of the cage before running full bore into the cage wall and squashing Umaga underneath it. I'm sure most of you have seen this before, as I have, but that spot never gets old. What an awesome way to end the show. This was a solid episode of ECW. I could critique Holly getting another title shot after losing for the 3rd time last week, but at the end of the day, I've really enjoyed all of the Lashley-Holly bouts, so another one in a steel cage match to have that awesome ending, sure, why not? The only negative about this particular episode for me was Extreme Expose taking up precious minutes of TV time when they could have been given to the opening bout between Kennedy and Sabu. With all of that in mind, I'm going to give episode 37 4 out of 5 stars. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.